Hello, hello, hello. Um, I don't know if this is a video that I think I would watch back because I kind of like already know the details of it, right? Um, and I think it's a pretty well, maybe not cool is the right word, but it's a pretty interesting video. For those who didn't know what went on. Uh, this is gonna be me talking about as far as I can remember what happened during the time that I had my first, but only grand mal seizure, grand mal. Um, Grand mal, I mean, in context, grand as in big, and then mal as in bad. So it was the time I had my first big bad seizure. I'm smiling, but not even low key. That could have been the point where I could have died, right? Um, I guess to be blunt, but thank God that I'm not dead, right? I thank God every day. Well, most days it should be every day. Sometimes, but how to get better with it, right? Not everybody's perfect. But anyways, on to the story. So I'm saying this with a smile, but um, I mean everything. I think I should be saying with a smile, right? Well, maybe not everything, but I mean, I'm still here, right? If anything, this is God's mercies, which is why I'm still here. Um, at the time, this was before the whole COVID things happening. Like we heard, because this was like February, I think this was February. Um, we were still going to school and everything. Um, we were going to school, but our school closed down kind of early. It was like early March, I think. Yeah, our school closed down kind of early, like early March. Um, because we got the rumors about it, and at the time they were calling it the Asian virus or whatever. Um, and so we were getting rumors, so our school closed down, and we were just doing everything virtually. Um, which in hindsight would probably, that also helped. That was also, God's hand just playing his part, right? Or doing his thing, I guess, because God has a part in everything, right? It's not just him playing his part. His part is everything, right? Um, I mean, because in hindsight, had this been in school, number one, well, I could have passed away. But number two, had I been alive, people probably would have made fun of me, for like literally season, right? Um, but anyways, on to the bigger topic at hand. Um, so, it was virtual school at that time, virtual schooling. And I was like, what better way to go about this is, what better way to lose weight, um, than to work out, at home, right? Um, and so, I mean, it sounds extremely stupid because it was very dumb. Um, but I heard this girl, for the track team, she had to lose some pounds for her to stay in the track team. And so what she did was she didn't eat for like a whole week. That's what her brother said. And apparently it worked for her, and she lost a bunch of pounds. She didn't eat, but she drank a lot of water. So I was like, if that works for her, why wouldn't it work for me? So I ended up trying that. Um, and even before that, I really didn't eat that much because I didn't like for breakfast. I didn't really, I didn't. When it was regular school, not when it was virtual. Because when it was virtual, I could wake up whenever I wanted. I could eat whenever I wanted, right? But when it was school, that we had to take the bus for, I had to wake up at like 5:45 in the morning, right? So I wasn't like hungry for breakfast, nor did I have the chance because I had to wake up at 5:45. The bus came at 6:30. My showers would take 15 minutes, like, you know, I didn't have the time of day to eat breakfast. The American school system really sucks, But that's another video for another topic, right? Well, I mean, same kind of topic, but different video. Um, so yeah, I would, I didn't really have the time to eat. I didn't really eat lunch because the lunch wasn't good at the school, anyways. So I really would only be eating dinner, anyways, really. Um, but then virtual school came back, and I'd be eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But then I remembered of what the guy said. He was like, his sister didn't eat. She only drank water and she lost a bunch of pounds. She lost a bunch of weight. So I was like, let me try that. So I didn't eat for like, I don't know, a good Was it a week? It could have been like 2 weeks. But I think, for like a straight week, maybe like 5 days. It wasn't anything less than like 3 days. I just didn't eat. If anything, I ate dinner, but that was about it. And even for dinner, I didn't eat that much because I was like, all right, I really gotta, and I'd be working out, right? So I'd be working out at my house doing like the 30-minute HIIT intervals, whatever those are called, high intensity. It stands for something. But I'd be doing workouts, not eating, drinking a bunch of water, all these aspects, right? Of me trying to lose weight. And so, then, just some random day, I wake up. I believe I wake up. Did I take the medicine? I think I took the medicine. So I wake up, I took the medicine, and then, I become unconscious after that. I don't remember what happens. But here's where it gets really interesting. So my mom, she used to, well, no, I guess she still does. I don't know, because I'm not at the house anymore. But when I was there, she would wake up at like 5 in the morning, go pray, in the living room. And she would listen to like an audiobook, with her big noise canceling headphones. But the day that I, went unconscious after taking my medicine, God told her to just wear her Apple earbuds. And so I go unconscious, and from what she told me, apparently, she was listening to her audiobook. I think it's just the Bible. I'm saying audiobook like it's a different thing. She's listening to the Bible with her earbuds, and she hears like a guzzling noise, right, of like someone gargling, right? She didn't know what it was, but the sound came from my room. So she goes into my room, or I think she said she knocked, but I wasn't answering. So she comes in my room, and she sees me, seizing. I'm like actually like twitching and stuff, right? Like what the stereotypical seizure, the people that seize, that type of seizing. It wasn't like, because before, like when I used to have seizures, they weren't like grand mal. They were just like whatever the opposite of grand is. The opposite of grand mal seizures. Small mals, I don't know, but regardless, those kind of seizures, it would, I would just like stare off into space. Sometimes I'd drool because I was seizing, but it wasn't like shown visually. I would just be like, staring off into space. And I'd be unconscious, but it would look like I'm still awake or whatever. At first I thought I was just daydreaming, but no, it was like actually a seizure. I got diagnosed with epilepsy and such. So she walks my room, she sees me seizing, but she also sees like a pool of blood in my mouth. So then she starts freaking out. From what she says, I'm not, hopefully I'm not butchering the story. So she starts freaking out. She grabs like the important medicine, because I have to take medication at 6 at 6 in the morning and at 7:30 at night. Or is it 7 in the morning, 6 at night? I think at the time it was something different. But I took the medicine whenever, but I still ended up unconscious on the floor. So she got the important medicine. It's like a little tablet that you have to like put under the patient's mouth. Yeah, you have to put it under the patient. I'm sorry, I feel like I got a burp again. Let me drink some water. So she grabs the important tablet. She tries to put it under my... No. She says... I apologize. Let me... But, she's fumbling with it because she's extremely anxious. She sees her son with a pool of blood in his mouth, seizing on the floor, right? So she starts, like, freaking out. She's trying to take the tablet. She ends up, like, crushing it because, she's, like, fumbling with it in her hands. So they end up calling 911. And I'm like legitimately unconscious. Like, I don't remember any of this. I'm assuming they took me to the nearest hospital, which I think was Einstein Hospital. I guess it's a community hospital. They took me to Einstein. Um, but the thing is, I guess I was on a stretcher, and I guess, yeah, because there's a lot of things I just don't remember. Because what I remember afterwards, I remember getting out the car, going to Einstein myself. Like, I didn't come out no stretcher. I don't remember ever going into a stretcher or going into the hospital car or whatever. Um, I remember coming out my mom's car, walking to Einstein myself, and then, as I was waiting in the waiting room, I go unconscious again because I had another seizure. And so when I wake up again, so I'm assuming that while I was in Einstein, they were doing checkups on me, seeing why I had, these grand mals that were extremely dangerous and deadly. Um, I don't remember them saying anything. I don't remember my mom or my stepdad saying anything about that. But I remember I woke up again, this time at CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, CHOP. I woke up at CHOP. I had all these needles in me or whatever. I had all these needles in me or whatever. Thank God I was alive. But I woke up at CHOP, and I was just laying down. I was like this, in the stretcher or whatever, or laying down. I see my mom directly next to me. She sees me awake, and she's like happy. Um, and then I remember her buying me all these snacks, and they were extremely salty. So I'm like, Mom, come on now, like you gotta buy me the what was it, like bacon cheddar and like something else flavored cheese curls. And I'm like, come on, Mom, I don't even like these. Believe it or not, believe it or not, but it turns out I had low sodium. And that was due to me exercising, drinking too much water, and not eating. Like, it completely changed the ratio of my sodium to water intake. I don't know what the ratio is, but it kind of took it way out of proportion. Which is why I had the, excuse me if you heard that, but that's why I had the seizure. So while I had the seizure, I had to eat a bunch of salty chips, which wasn't terrible too, because I got the sour cream and onions a couple times. That was kind of good. And they were like, I think in my IV they were like putting some sort of fluid that would help increase my sodium. I don't think it was directly sodium, but it was something that would help increase my sodium intake. And from I don't think it took like a full day. Maybe it did. I don't remember. I don't think it was a whole day that I was there. I think it was like the day that I had the seizure, I came out. But I remember, and I posted it on my Instagram. So because I was seizing and such, they had to I don't think it was sedatives, but they had to like calm me down in a way, and they calmed me. And at a point in time, I was like extremely off it. I was very high. And then this Asian nurse comes in, and I'm like trying to like flirt with her, like oh my goodness. Yeah, I start like flirting with this Asian nurse, because at the time I was still super attracted to the girl that I talked about in my former videos, and she happened to be Vietnamese, the girl that I was attracted to, and the nurse that came into my room was Asian, so I was like, okay, so I see what I'm working with. And so I started flirting with her. I don't know if she noticed or cared. It was probably both. She didn't notice or care. But I tried shooting my shot while completely high, and it obviously doesn't go well. I don't know what I was expecting, but again, I was under the influence, right? So what do I know? And then I, if you follow my Instagram page, you'd see what I was doing. There's this one video where I'm like posing for my graduation pictures while like in a gown. I'm in a gown, so like I'm not wearing no like boxers or nothing. And I go for the pose where like you crouch down, with your legs spread. My mom goes, you're not wearing no underwear," and then she like turns the camera upwards so that nobody sees nothing. Um, I find that video hilarious though. That's a really really funny video though. That's really funny. Um, but I get healed back up. Um, it was a very interesting day to me because I didn't feel a thing. And also, for context from why my mouth was like, I was gargling my own blood, was that when I was seizing, it turns out I like bit through my own tongue because I was, I'm seizing, and I guess I go like that with my own tongue. I start bleeding profusely, and when I came back from the hospital, I saw like blood stains on my carpet, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I wonder like what happened to my shirt and everything. Um, and they had to I had to like clean my carpet and such because like those were like legitimate blood stains. Um, so yeah, then I legitimately started taking my epilepsy more seriously after that because it was like that should never happen ever again, and it hasn't, thank God. I've never had another one of those seizures. I haven't had a small seizure in a minute either, because God's really taking care of me, and I thank Him for that. Um, so yeah, I guess that's just a video of when I had my only uh, grand mal, whatever, however you pronounce it. Um, and to this day, I still don't feel I haven't gotten grasped by the real weight that it has. Because again, I could have died 7 months ago, right? But I guess the main reason why I don't feel things because again I was unconscious through it all, right? Like what can I remember? I didn't feel a thing either, and I thank God for that too because I could have been traumatized, but I don't, I kind of, and I shouldn't be like saying this like it's just some random story. Like this is really a story of God's miracles. Because had my mom wore them noise canceling headphones, I'd be dead. Um, had what's it called? I feel like even if they kept me in Einstein, because they put me in CHOP for a reason. Had I stayed in Einstein, maybe worse things could have happened, or worse things rather than me being completely fine and well and healthy as I am now. I'm not necessarily healthy. I'm still a good 190 pounds, right? But healthy as in the mind. A lot of bad things could have happened. It was really heartwarming to see that people really like my family were like reaching out to me, and it's nice to see that your family still care. I mean, obviously I know that they still care about me, but it's like it's nice to receive those text messages and calls. It's really nice to know that they're still looking out for you, right? Um, but other than that, I'm completely fine as it is now. If anything, I'm way more on top of when I should be taking my medication. Um, but really, it's God's miracles. It is. I thank Him for it, and I think that I can't even say cute. She's like 12 years older than me, but I think that the pretty, not even pretty, the beautiful. I gotta say beautiful because she's much older than me. I thank the beautiful Asian nurse. Because also while I was there, when I had to pee, I was also extremely high. So like I think I was just peeing all over the walls. Like I was not peeing in the toilet. Like I was just straight peeing on the walls. And I acknowledged that and I kept going, right? So I don't know how they dealt with me. And I know the staff was very mad at me. But it is what it is, right? Um I also do remember one of the times when I was conscious. Um, I was I threw up. I threw up. It was like, all right, well, that's just the food that I ate, and then I threw up like 5 minutes afterwards, and it was all yellow. I was like, what did I just eat? Right? Like, what, did I just eat Big Bird or something like that? And then turned out it was bile. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds gross. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. So it's not necessarily a funny story. Uh, I think it's a good story, you know. Um, but other than that, it's definitely a very interesting story. So uh, I guess this is it's a cool little video. It's something that will always be in my mind. So it's not like I gotta go run this video back to know about when I could have died, because obviously things like that, events like that, are gonna stick in your mind forever. Um, I guess it'll be a cool little video for my children to see, right? Well, maybe not cool, but it's a very interesting video for my kids to see, right? So this would have been cool if I actually knew the names of my children, but I don't. I'm only 17. But if I would have said like uh Josh, if you happen to see this or something like that, but what do I know, right? If I do have children, they're all gonna have names beginning with J though. Um, because my dad did that. All his kids' names begin with J, so I'm gonna keep that tradition going. Yeah. All right, that's really about it. That's all I got. Um, yeah. So this is a very interesting video. And I hope y'all have a good evening. I'm really just procrastinating so I don't have to do this computer science garbage, but I really don't like this class. I really don't. But I gotta go somehow. So peace.